for our next project, we're going to be making honeycomb and a bee, and we're going to use some oil pastels and color mixing. Here's what it's starting to look like, and I'm going to talk about how to get from here to here. I made some cutouts for you to trace. They're not exactly perfect, so you have to kind of adjust as you go to try to line up the corners, but it's better than trying to draw them on your own. So once you've filled your paper with your hexagons, you're going to take oil pastels. You need hot colors, red, orange, and yellow, and then you're also going to need black. To start out, you're going to take your orange, and I'm just going to work on this one. You're going to take your orange, let's zoom in a little bit, and go around the outside. You don't have to get completely to the edge, but the more color you use, the easier it's going to be to blend with your finger in a little bit. And this gets a little messy, so you're going to want to make sure that you're pushing up your sleeves and that you don't have anything else on your table or your desk that you don't want to get dirty. So I'm going to go in the shape of the hexagon and leave the center open for my yellow. And I'm trying to get the white spots so that when I start to blend later, it's not as hard. I'm gonna go ahead and take my yellow and fill in the white spots. It's okay if you mix because we're gonna be mixing anyways. And you would do this for all of your hexagons before you started to blend. That's why mine's starting to look kind of messy, because I just did half to show you what it's gonna start to look like. On camera, it looks a little bit brown, but I promise it's not. We're gonna go ahead and take our finger and start to blend. I'm gonna blend the edges first and spread it out as much as I can. If you need to add some more color, you can. You are gonna go over your pencil lines with black, so it's okay. Oops, got a little black on my finger. It's okay if you don't completely get there, but try to get as much as you can, even if it's really light. Then you're gonna go towards the center and start blending your yellow to your orange. And you can switch fingers for that if you want to. I'm just gonna use my middle finger now. Oh, I did have some orange on it. And you're gonna blend that out. And I'm pushing pretty gentle. I don't wanna rip my paper. If it's feeling like it's too hard to move, you need to add more color. And you can always go back in and add more color on top too. I'm gonna blend that in a little bit more. I'll do this one, and then I'll show you how to add the black. So I'm gonna go in with my orange, and I gotta be careful now because I did actually put some black there and I don't wanna blend that into my orange. That's why we do black last, because that would make some gross colors. I'm gonna go ahead, get my orange in. I'm getting as close to that black as I can. I'm gonna get my yellow in. And what we're doing by mixing these colors is showing value, because it's like the light, medium, and darkness. And I'm going to go ahead and get this one. And I might as well do the little bit that I have left at the bottom to my little half of a hexagon. My yellow. I'm gonna zoom us back out, blending with my fingers carefully along that black line. Get the yellow blended. And I'm rushing, so you can take this a little bit slower. I just want to be able to show you. Okay, Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my black. Let's pretend I finished this side as well. And I'm gonna go over my hexagon lines. And I'm gonna make this kind of a thicker line. And these are big oil pastels, so it does get a little bit tricky. So you just gotta take your time. And I'm gonna leave my edges blank in case I wanna finish that. So with your black, you're gonna take your finger as well and you're going to blend that line and try to just go in one direction instead of back and forth. That way it kind of blends into your orange like a shadow. Back and forth, no side to side. If it's not being a good enough shadow for you, you can go ahead and add some more if you need to. And I'm gonna blend these a little bit more too. Once you've gotten your honeycomb done, you can wash your hands, set it aside, and you're gonna make a bumblebee to go in with your honeycomb. I'm just gonna use a scrap piece of paper. It's already got something on it, but we'll ignore that. To make our little bee, I'm just gonna take a Sharpie and I'm going to make an oval shape. And you can make these kind of big because your honeycomb is big, so you're zooming in. So if I looked at my little thing, pretty good. And you can go ahead and give it some wings. If you wanna look at a picture of one, you can. Give it some antenna. Maybe I'll throw some pictures on the smartboard. You need to give it stripes. And you can give it a little stinger if you want to. If you want to make the wings have checkers, you can, or you can leave them plain. Then if you are using your oil pastel to color it in, that's fine. If that's too tricky because it's too big of a space, you can go ahead and use crayons if you wanted to. I'm just gonna use crayons quick. Color black and white, or black and yellow stripes. And you can leave your wings white, or you can color them gray if you want to. And then you would cut your bee out and glue it on to your honeycomb. If you wanted to cut out a little strip of your paper, the scrap paper that we're using, you could cut out a little strip. And maybe it doesn't need to be this long. Trim it. And you can accordion fold it forward, backwards, forwards, backwards, and then you put a little glue on this part and this part, and when you glue it on, it'll stand up a little bit, and you can put that on the belly of your bee when you're gluing it onto your honeycomb. So with our honeycomb, like I said, we are showing value. We are also working with shapes because our hexagons and lines and color are warm colors. Go ahead and get started.